Scientific notation. Definitions of scientific notation. A number is expressed in scientific notation when it is written as the product of a number and a power of 10. The number must be greater than or equal to 1 and less than 10. Finding scientific notation from standard form. Place the decimal behind the first digit of the number in standard form. Count how many places the decimal moves left or right. Then the number of moves is recorded as the exponent in the powers of 10. To determine if your exponent is positive or negative, ask, was the original number a whole number? Then it will be positive. Was the original number a decimal? Then it will be negative. Write the following if the following will have a positive or negative exponent. This is a whole number, so the exponent will be positive. This is a decimal. The exponent will be negative. This is a decimal, so the exponent will be negative. This is a whole number, so the exponent will be positive. Write the following in scientific notation. Here's the decimal, and it's moving 2 places to the right to get 1 and 25 hundredths times 10 to the power of negative 2. It is negative because you start with a decimal, and it is 2 because you're moving 2 places. On number 3, you start at the decimal and you move it 1, 2, 3, 4 places to get behind the first number. So you get 5 and 8 tenths times 10 to the negative 4 power. It is negative because you started with a decimal. It is 4 because you moved 4 places. The decimal of a whole number is at the back. I'm moving it 1, 2, 3 places to get 4 and 3 tenths times 10 to the positive 3. It is 3. It is positive because you start with a whole number, and it's 3 because you move 3 places. Now pause the video and try numbers 2, 4, and 6. Check your answers as shown below. Scientific notation continued. Scientific notation to standard form. If the exponent is negative, move the decimal to the left. If the exponent is positive, move the decimal to the right. For example, the exponent is negative, so I'm going to move my decimal 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3. Fill in the empty places with a 0. Remember to put your 0 out front so you know this is a decimal. Example 2, the exponent is positive. So I'm going to move my decimal 6 places to the right. Fill in any empty spots with a 0. Let's try 3 and 4 together. Number 3, the exponent is positive 5. So I'm going to move my decimal 5 places to the right. Remember to fill in any empty spaces with a 0. Number 4, my exponent is negative. So I'm going to move my decimal 5 places to the left. Remember to fill in any empty spaces with a 0, including one out front of the decimal. Pause the video and try numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8. Check your answers with the ones written below. Look at number 7. Number 7 does not have an exponent. This has an imaginary exponent of 1. So you will move your decimal 1 place to the right. Put the following in ascending order. Ascending order increases from least to greatest. Make sure when comparing you put all given numbers in decimal form. Remember to go from a percent to a decimal. You move the decimal 2 places to the left. This one has a negative exponent, so I'm going to move my decimal 2 places to the left. 1/2 is a fraction. It is also 0 and 5/10 as a decimal. Now that they're all in decimals, we're going to list them from least to greatest. Zero and 45 thousandths is the smallest decimal. Followed by 0 and 46 hundredths. I'm going to write this in its original format. Followed by 45 hundredths, or 45%, and 5/10, or 1/2. Powers of 10. A power of 10 is a number 10 multiplied by itself a certain number of times. The power can either be positive, which is large numbers, or negative, which is a decimal. Powers of 10 can be written with exponents, fractions, and decimals. This is exponential form. The exponent tells you how many zeros you will have. This is fractions form and decimal form. Remember, a whole number has a decimal at the end. Here's some examples. 10 squared in fraction form is 100 over 1. Decimal form is 100. 10 cubed is 1,000 over 1. The decimal is 1,000. Remember, the exponent tells you how many zeros there will be. Pause the video and finish through 10 to the 10th power. Check your answers with the ones below. Let's look at exponential form with a negative exponent. Negative exponents will make this into a fraction of 1 over 100. This will give you a decimal of 1/100ths. There's always one less zero in the decimal than the given exponent. So there is 2 as an exponent, so there's 1 0. 10 to the negative third is 1 over 1,000. 1/1000ths. 1 over 10,000 is 1/10,000ths. Pause the video and try through 10 to the negative 10. Check your answers with the ones written below. Powers of 10 continued. Powers of 10 can be written as fractions multiplied together. In the previous page, we talked about how 10 to the 4th as a fraction would be written as 10,000 over 1. Instead of saying 10,000 over 1, you will say 10 over 1 and multiply that 4 times. 10 over 1 times 10 over 1 times 10 over 1 times 10 over 1. Very similar with a negative exponent, except it'll be 1 over 10. Looking at number 1, writing 1 over 1,000 in exponential form, there are 3 zeros, so you know your exponent is 3, and because it's 1 over 1,000, it'll be negative 3. Number 2 states right in decimal form. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fractions of 1 over 10. You know it'll be a negative exponent because it is 1 over 10, and it'll be negative 8 because there are 8 fractions. Number 3 asks to write 10 to the negative 12 in fraction form. Because it is negative, it will be 1 over, and there are it's 12 as an exponent, so there are going to be 12 zeros. Number 4 asks you to write 10/5 as fractions multiplied together. Because it is a positive exponent, it will be 10 over 1, and there will be 5 of them. Pause the video and finish the rest of the page.